other person. If you would just move to a group that has more than just one other person. This is my favorite song when I was living in Maui. Yeah, I don't hula. Not in front of a large crowd. Okay, everyone. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Are we awake yet? Awesome. So, for those of you in that group, there's no facilitator. If you could pick a group that has some empty chairs, and we'll use that as overflow. Thank you. I don't mean to call you out. I'm just saving you a seating time. There's some spaces over here. Just raise your hand if there's spaces. Look at that. They just want you. Okay. So there's folks coming in. Keep your hands up. And if you just joined this group who has their hands up, if you're going, what in the world are these people doing today? I'm just going to describe it. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. If this is your first time here and you've walked in and you're going, whoa, this doesn't look like it was online. It's not, except for a month. Maybe, I think the last time we did this was in November, right? We didn't do it in December. So this is called our Care Circle Sunday. And we do small group dialogue on the fourth Sunday. And if, again, if you're new and this is kind of like, oh, I'm not sure I want to do this, just observe. You don't have to speak, you don't have to do anything, you could just observe. So just be where you're at. We love being where we're at, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm Reverend Bobbi. I'm the spiritual director, a senior minister here at Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living, and this is
Reverend Veronica. I'm the staff minister here at Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living.
Yeah, she's extraordinary. How many people have witnessed this one, right? Right. Amazing. So we've got folks online. Jesse and Tori are going to be in the back, and you'll see a TV back there. And we have folks that are participating online, and they get that opportunity. So again, raise your hand. There's some folks coming in that we need to let people know that there's a seat. And Valerie, would you do me a favor? Would you go to the welcome team and tell them anybody comes in that they bring them in and invite them to sit somewhere? Yes, and not there yet.
We're getting close.
Did you have a question, Chris, or you're just putting your hand up because you're a good student? You have one seat left? Great. Okay. So we're going to start first with some announcements. So this is Tori Stina on the Board of Trustees.
Woo!
And she's going to do, I think we only have one announcement here, but I have a feeling there's a slide missing. But so we may have to, Valerie, your slide is not in here for announcements. So,
Do you want to come up?
every Sunday we have announcements. So it's okay. We're going to take care of it. I'm just letting you know. And so if that sounded really casual, it's because it was. Right? All right. So Tori, will you take care of the one announcement here?
I would absolutely love it because we are very casual, and I appreciate that, as I'm dressed. No. So I just want to talk about the Awakening Together. It's a cultural spiritual awareness. We're so excited to launch our new monthly discussion group. It's called Awakening Together. It's cultivating spiritual awareness. Thank you. You're the best. Each month, we will take the topic that was discussed in our care circle on Sunday and deepen the conversation, the practice, and the insights. Our first Zoom discussion group is Wednesday, February 5th. That's this coming Wednesday, or next Wednesday. Not this Wednesday, next Wednesday. Thank you. And it's going to be from 7 to 8:30 in the evening. All right, and join Rev Veronica and Dr. Aaron Lightfoot as we dig deeper into the topics, what is God? And who am I? Incredible questions, right? Yeah. Thank you guys, and enjoy the session today.
Is Dr. Aaron here today? Yay!
Dr. Aaron is here.
Yay! Dr. Aaron's here. We're tag teaming on this Wednesday. So please join us on Zoom.
I just had a thought and I lost it already.
I have a thought. Maybe Andrea wants to give her.
Yeah, and Andrea.
Andrea, will you come up? Come on up. Talk about the circle. Right here. Come right here. Come right here. Are you coming back in February?
Yeah.
You and the smart guy over there, the two smart people right here.
My amazing husband. Would you talk about it? Sure. So next month, February 15th, I believe it's from 1:30 to 4:30, correct? Is that what we decided? We'll be doing a conscious communication workshop, learning how to regulate our emotions, how to speak from the heart, how to be in right relationship with ourselves and each other in a way that creates more collaboration, more understanding, more receptivity, so that we can have the capacity to be able to see things from all sorts of angles and points of view, so that we can really work in team and partnership. And this is not just for couples, this is for your extended families. This is for you working with and engaging with your children. It's with colleagues. It's with fellow practitioners and leadership team. How do we be in the vibration and be in that connected relationship with ourselves of love as we are emanating that love and partnership and understanding with each other. And that's ultimately what we want to create more in the world. And if all of us are on that path of growth, and we can't do it, then it's going to be hard for that to happen collectively. So this workshop is an opportunity to really develop some skills, some building blocks for you to play with and practice, and dyads and triads, so that you can really up-level your game in those areas. You're welcome.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. The last thing that we didn't talk about is, so if you parked behind anybody, if you could make sure that, one, if you're here right now and you forgot to put a card in the window, which is what we typically ask, in the window by the dash or out on the outside, if it's raining, try to put it on the inside. That's my all go-to. That way, whoever you're blocking, and Jan has the card in the back, and if you need one, she can just bring one to you. That way, at the end of service, whoever needs to get out that is parked in front of you can get out, and they have your cell phone number. So at the end of service, just turn your cell phone on and make sure you get that text so we don't have to announce and try to find you. Anyway, thank you for doing that. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's going to go on. Rev Veronica is going to introduce the workshop. I'm just going to introduce the care model and our care covenant. Can everybody see that up there? And if you forgot your glasses, could you move to a different seat? I can't make it any bigger than it is right now. So part of the care covenant is how we treat one another when we're in community. I agree to listen and be present and not try to fix or give advice. I do it sometimes myself, and so today is about listening and speaking from the I position. I feel, I am, I believe. Does that make sense? Which means I don't say, we should, you should. It's I am, I will, I do, I believe. Right? The second one is, well, I did that. The third one is I agree to bring my best love and attention to whatever or whomever is before me, including and especially myself. The world's kind of divided. There's an epidemic of loneliness, and that is because people don't feel seen or heard. So we get to practice that here in community of listening and seeing the other person and knowing that the other person's going to give that to me as well. So that's what we get to practice today. I agree to practice non-judgment. Boy, isn't that easy. Right? Someone says something, it isn't right, I wish they said it differently, that word's wrong, grammatically it's not great, whatever it is. We just take a breath. Let's take a nice breath. We pause and we notice where we're at. And first, instead of judging ourselves, let's give ourselves compassion that we're learning, right? Mm-hmm. The next one is, I agree to love and accept myself and others as they are, no matter what. No matter what. Goes with non-judgment. I agree to stay in the present, the now moment of power, which means if you're concerned about something, we're going to do a little spiritual practice here to put it to the side, and let's be present just for this hour and 10 minutes of a workshop that we're going to do today. And I use as my guide, this is a great one, if it's loving, if it grows, expands, or deepens love, it's the right thing to do. Whatever I say in this community should come from love. If it comes from judgment or criticism about anything, it's not love. It's not love. So we get to speak from love, and we get to practice that and get better and better and better at it. Sound wonderful? Awesome? Thank you. Mm-hmm. Let's do our care model. So Valerie Day, who's a practitioner here, which means that she has taken a ton of classes and is now a practitioner emeritus, which means she's arrived and doesn't have to prove herself anymore to the minister in the community. Okay, that doesn't mean she gets to do whatever she wants now. Just kidding. Come on up, Valerie. We're going to do both, but I want you to come up and observe. All right, so today what I'm going to, and here's Valerie and I are going to model it really quick. So what is a word of good for today, or something good for the day, which could be love, connection, community, abundance, wisdom, joy. We're going to model it for you because we're not here to tell the whole story of our good. You may have a story, tell us afterwards. okay? We're here to listen, but tell us afterwards. So what's your word of good, Valerie?
New friends.
I like that word. Wow. Oh, and it keeps giving, that word, right? So my word of good today is health. I feel super good. Yay, I know. I know. So the next one is, do I have any heaviness of heart or hardness of head in the way of being here today? I know that that's not real readable because something shifted, but we'll deal with it. So heaviness of heart or hardness of head. Am I carrying something in today in the way of being present? We're always carrying something, always. But is it in the way of being present today? And we're going to offer up prayer or give prayer as we go through this. So Valerie, would you demonstrate? No stories. You can do a sentence, and that's about it. So Valerie, I'm sure you can pull some heaviness of head or heaviness of heart and hardness of head.
I'm struggling with letting go of my relationship with my brother and accepting him.
Did you get the point? Yeah, that was a good summary, by the way. Right?
I'm not very good at summaries.
No, she's not. But she's learning. So here's mine. I'm working on not judging some of the political climate out there and being part of the answer.
That's beautiful. Awesome. I think we can pray for both of those things. But we're going to let them do that.
So, exactly. So Valerie's going to take my chair. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is pick a partner. And you're going to share your word of good. Start with that. And then make it quick. And then we're going to go to heaviness of head or heaviness of heart, hardness of head. Ready?
Paper.
Go.
The questions on it. Yeah. You have everybody.
And I think that Lorraine kept the homework to not give them till the end. Okay, we're good. Okay. That was my announcement. Sorry.
Okay. You have plenty of time to share your word of good. So can you see me? If you just mirror my hand. Just mirror my hand because we're moving on to the next. Just mirror my hand because we're moving on to the next. Very nice. Look at you. This is what our youth camps do. Okay. So is there any heaviness of heart or hardness of head in the way of being? Share yours, a sentence, and then switch. You ready? And then I'm going to ask you, don't go yet, and then I'm going to ask you if you need prayer, each group.
I think they did.
Can everybody hear me? Okay, so I'm going to ask you by group if you need prayer. You may not. And if you need something deeper than what we give, just wait for afterwards. And our prayer is affirmative prayer. We don't pray to a God. We affirm that what is true within us. And we believe in oneness, so that's how it works. That's a simple explanation. Are you ready? Go. Heaviness of head with your dyads.
Okay, fabulous. Just checking.
Okay, you should be finishing up. You've said a sentence. Okay, I'm just going to do that little peace sign again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now I'm going to come to the groups, and I'm going to give you a moment, but if you would like prayer because it's in the way of being present, just raise your hand in your group if you would like prayer and give us a sentence, okay? So I'm going to start over here at this group. Does someone need prayer over here? in the way of being, it's in the way of being present today. Is it? Yes, okay.
I would appreciate all focused positive energy to help me to calm my entire digestive tract.
Thank you for that. How about here, this group? Tony. I'm coming over, Tony. My love.
Thank you for letting me share this. I need prayer for my well-being and my health.
Thank you, Tony.
I would like prayer for stress with new beginnings.
Ooh, that's a good one. Stress with new beginnings. Nice one. Thank you. How about this group? Anything in the way of being present today? Okay. How about this group? Okay, hold on. Yeah, because we have online folks, and so, yeah, everyone.
I would like prayer over a sense of shame I experienced this last week.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And then we have our online.
Online, there is a request for prayer for good health, continued good health, and that Gina's mom, stepdad is in the hospital and needs prayer for both of them.
Okay.
That was Gina's stepdad's.
Gina's mom and stepdad? Okay. How about this group? Okay. Hi.
I need help, or prayer for helping me find God in my shame.
Gotcha.
Can you repeat that for me, please?
She needs help finding God in her shame.
Okay.
One more?
For my dad, who is recovering and using a walker, so for his healing.
Her dad who is healing in a walker. Dawn? Now, Dawn, are we going to remember what we did last time?
I need help about worry about my wife's healing.
Very sweet. Thank you. Dawn and I have a little joke between us, don't we? Yes.
Good morning. I need prayer for the feeling of rejection.
Oh, yes, yes. Did I see one more in this group? Okay, okay. One more. I'm squeezing through, Chuck.
I need prayer for my friend whose father is actively dying.
Okay. Okay, Valerie, are you ready?
Almost.
Matt, are these mics on? Can you turn this one on?
Okay, so as I start, it isn't on, all right?
It is on.
Okay, can you hear me? So I just want to remind everybody in the room that a prayer for one is a prayer for all. So while I might not be saying everybody's name, this prayer is for everybody in the room because we believe we're all connected, right? So if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes, but prayer works whether your eyes are open or closed or seated or whatever we're doing. So we just exhale, and allow ourselves to arrive here a little more fully, a little more completely, just giving thanks that we're alive, awake, aware, grateful and thankful for the I Am presence that is expressing in its fullness and allness as each and every one of us. And so we just come together knowing that each prayer that was so beautifully and authentically and tenderly shared and spoken, that the prayer is already happening, that the prayer is happening right here and right now, but we just formally speak a word of prayer and blessing, just affirming positive energy to calm the digestive tract, just affirming peace and calm in the body temple, peace and calm in the body temple, just seeing that the organs and functions of the body temple are operating just in peace and calm and holy and in just divine perfect order. A prayer for well-being and health, just affirming wholeness and health and well-being. Just releasing into this prayer field any stuff, any story, any stress, any anxiousness, and just dancing in delight with the new beginning that is revealing itself right here and right now, right here and right now. We just give thanks for the new beginning. We also release into this prayer field any sense of separation around shame and story and worry, and just knowing that whatever situation happened last week where it's like, oh my God, I'm so ashamed, I'm so embarrassed, we just know that that we're all human and that God is always expressing in all beautiful and amazing ways. So we just embrace and love that part of us that feels like, oh my God, I'm so afraid, I'm so embarrassed. And so we just know that love is all there is, that love is right in the midst of this beautiful situation that in our humanness feels like shame, but it is God expressing in beauty and love and grace and peace. And so we just speak a prayer for continued good health, and just knowing that Gina's mom's stepdad is just being cared for in the perfect way in the hospital. The doctors, the nurses, the caregivers, that there is just divine right action happening within his body temple, that all those who love him, just we release any worry, just holding love and wholeness and just divine right action happening. And we just, again, just bring that idea of shame into our hearts, just holding love and compassion, just knowing that God is in the midst of all of it, in every single solitary situation that God is expressing in its fullness and allness. So we just embrace that love, embrace that pure, unconditional love that is who and what we are. We bless Andrea's father, just knowing that he continues to recover, that movement is happening as he just receives that balance and support from his walker, just knowing that right where he is, God is expressing. We just bless Dawn, just knowing right where he is, that love expresses as Florette's wholeness and health, just knowing that she continues to heal in divine, perfect timing. And we just know that rejection is God's protection. So in those moments where we in all of our humanness might feel rejected, we know that we are always being protected, that God is holding us, loving us, supporting us, that there is fullness and allness in every relationship, in every situation. And we just speak a word of blessing for this wonderful father who's making his transition, just holding him in our hearts, just knowing that love and peace and divine timing is expressing in its allness. We just hold all who love this precious father who's transitioning, just knowing that they are held, that they are angels holding the high watch for their dear father, as he just has a graceful transition, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week. We just know that there is God expressing in this beautiful, precious life. And so I just give thanks for each word that has been shared, known, felt, witnessed, experienced, embodied, that there is a fullness and allness expressing right here and right now as this beautiful configuration of Care Circle Sunday Souls. And so I just release this prayer, the action of the law, knowing it's complete, knowing it's done, saying, and so it is, and so I let it be. Amen, amen, amen.
Thank you, Valerie. Okay. So if there's anything through the workshop also that you need, practitioners are available. If I could have our roving practitioners just stand and make themselves known. There's Gina over here, and Mary, Jackie in the back, and Janice right here. So, and our welcome team, you got folks coming in. We'll probably start filling this group here, and we have two extra facilitators, so we can do that when we run out of seats, okay?
There's seats over here.
Yeah, when we fill, we'll overflow, okay? Yeah, got it. Okay, so part of what we're doing, every year at the beginning of the year, we go back to the beginning. And so back to the beginning goes back to, what do I believe? And it's an opportunity to look at what I believe. I know that I logically believe some things, but what do I really believe is kind of what we need to continually look at, because what I really believe is how I operate my life. Make sense? Now, this last year, our theme was waking up. This year, our theme is growing up, which is getting a little deep in the shadow of our belief system. How many of you would like to feel better on a regular basis? Yeah, maybe you wake up and you go, gosh, I just don't feel very good today, which, by the way, is okay. We're not going to feel great every day. I don't know if that's possible as humans, But the point is, can I have a tool or something that will help me get through it, whether if it is even just surrendering or being in the moment with it. And then sometimes it has to do with something I believe, and we teach those tools here. So this whole month, this idea of growing up, we're starting with, what is God? So for those of you in the class, you're going, oh, they're talking about God again? Yep, the whole month. The whole entire month. What is God? That's the plan. Because it takes a little while to get down to what we truly believe. So the growing up is 2025. So Rev Veronica is going to take over the front end and talk about the objectives and what we're going to do this first half.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Reverend Bobbi and Valerie and Tori for leading off today. All right. So what is God and who am I? We don't mess around here, do we? Those are some serious questions, that contemplated by many of the religious and spiritual worlds. And we are not necessarily here to give you the answer. Where does the answer come from? Within, yes. So today we're going to engage in open-ended dialogue, self-reflection, and collaborative exploration of the two most profound questions, what is God and what am I? Through guided meditation, dyadic discussions, and group sharing, this workshop aims to deepen individual and collective understanding of spiritual concepts, foster personal growth, and inspire actionable insights for community engagement and transformation. So that's what we're going to do here today. And like I said, if you are new to our center, this is what we do on the fourth Sunday of every month, is we take the teachings that we've talked about throughout the month, and we take them a little bit deeper through discussion together. So thank you everyone for being here. All right, so let's go into the question, what is God? And before I do, I want to make sure everyone has the handouts, like a worksheet with questions on both sides. And so those are to help you, because we can get it conceptually in the mind, and then we want to transfer it and write it down. It helps solidify ideas and maybe some new concepts that you might come forth through you. So the thing about what is God, many of us, and I'll speak for myself, and maybe you can relate. I was brought up Catholic, and my Catholic religion explained to me about God, and I, as a kid, my best definition of God was a punishing God, and so that's my interpretation at the age, the best that I could define it at the time. And so I grew up with that definition of God up into my 20s. And so whatever that is for you, how you grew up as a definition, it's in our consciousness. We can't help it because we've grown up in our home. Maybe it was practiced in our home. Maybe there's scripture that you have studied that has reinforced your idea and understanding of God. And there, for a lot of us, some of it still works, right? We still, I love the saints, of the Catholic teachings, and Guadalupe, is from a Latin family. I still love my connection with the saints. I still love the practice of communion. I have a different relationship with it now. My understanding of communion now is the body and blood of Christ consciousness, just reminding me of who I am. And so we can take what we were brought up with, and redefine our relationship with it. What is it that I believe about God? What is it that still works about my beliefs as a child? And what is it that I'm growing up into? Right? So that's what we're going to explore here today. And as you're exploring it, I want you to use that worksheet to write it down and take it home and keep exploring, because this is not a question that we answer in the next hour, right? This is a pretty good question to talk about. And then we are going to use the power of dyads to help us go deeper. So just know that we've created a safe space here for you to share, and that anything is shared here stays here. Do we have that agreement? Because we're going to go into some things that maybe we do have shame about. Maybe we are afraid to question the God of our childhood. How dare I? And and knowing that it's a safe place and that it's all okay. Because how, we start to uncover and discover and navigate through to find out what is it that I do believe about God. So, in our teachings, and this is Science of Mind teachings that we're exploring, we know that God is all there is, everywhere present, all the time, in its entirety. And that God reveals itself through each and every one of us, through life itself, that there's this revelation of God. And so I want us to do an introspection, a meditation, if you will, to ask, instead of asking outside of ourselves, and we tend to go into our heads and think, what is God? What is God? What is God? Where's the answer? What is God? And we look outside of ourselves. I want us to go within, into our body. Our body has wisdom. We have a wisdom body. And so we can reveal God to ourselves through this meditation. How does that sound? Sound good? So I'm calling it the Revelation Revolution. Because you might discover some new things as you ask yourself, what is God? You might have some new discoveries. God might reveal itself to you in a new way, in a new color, in a new vision, in a new word, in a new picture, as you are diving and discovering, okay? So we're going to do this Revelation Revolution here. And so I'd like for you to sit with both feet on the floor, and I want you to lengthen the top of your head to the sky so you create a nice long spine. We have a nice long spine here. And close your eyes. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. If you want to do open-eyed meditation, that's fine as well. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. Deep breath in and let it out. Deep breath in and let it out. Last one, deep breath in and let it out. And I want you to place your attention on your body. When we go into meditation, sometimes we tend to go up into the head or out into space. We're going to bring our attention right on our body. Feel your feet connected to the earth. Feel your lower legs, your knees, your thighs, your hips. And just pause and put your attention on your lower body. Even take a moment of gratitude for your legs. And feel your lower torso and all of the organs that reside within your lower torso and your elimination system, your reproductive system, your belly button. Just notice this lower part of your torso. And gratitude for that part of your body. And you put your attention on your middle of your torso, your stomach, and all the organs that reside within the center of your torso, your spleen and your pancreas and your liver. Oh, they do such good work. Thank you, body. And your chest and your heart and your lungs and your rib cage. Thank you, body. And your arms all the way down to your fingers and your shoulders and your neck and your face and your head and your brain and your nervous system, all of it. And then somewhere in the midst of this beautiful body temple, some part of your body is calling you right now. Just put your attention on that part of your body. Just hold that attention right there in that spot. And ask yourself your inner wisdom, what is God? And just sit with that question and see what arises. What is God? What is God? Notice sensations that come up. Notice colors. Notice everything that comes up. And if nothing comes up, that's okay too. Sit with the question, what is God? And then ask yourself one more time, what is God? And then take a deep breath in. Start to feel your feet connected to the earth again. Feel the chair underneath you. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. And I want you to take that piece of paper that has the question on it, what is God? And write down what came up for you. And even if it was just colors, if you just said, all I saw was the color blue, or nothing really came up, or I felt more peaceful. Just every answer is the right answer. Just go ahead and write that down. And I'll give you 1 minute to do that. Okay. So, and you'll have more time to write down because what we're going to do now is we're going to share what came up for you in dyad. And so as you're sharing, more stuff might come up, so you can write it down as well. So I want you to turn to a partner. And so for this question, your partner's going to ask you, what is God? And you're going to answer what came up for you. And we'll do it for 4 minutes, and then we'll switch partners, okay? So one partner one, asking, what is God? Partner two, answering what came up for you during the meditation. Is everybody clear? Are we clear? Are you clear on the questions? Okay, everybody's clear? Are you guys clear? Okay. Everybody clear here, Lorraine? Everybody's clear? Question? Okay. All right. I'm going to set my timer.
What's going on in you?
I wanted to make... Okay, if you could start bringing your answers to a close.
Remind people not to advise or even comment.
Okay. All right, so the first round of questions, can we bring it to a close? Good, good. And just a reminder not to give advice. If you're the listening partner, you're just the listening partner. Okay, so no advice giving or opinions, just be a good listener and be receiving. When do we get to be seen and heard, right? So this is your opportunity as a listening partner to listen and receive your partner, okay? All right, so switch. So partner number 2, you're gonna, just switch. Did they? Some are. Okay, let's bring it to a close.
Say just switch sharing, not switch partners. They didn't know what that meant.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to the next question regarding your contemplation. And, whoops. The next question I found very interesting. What would you like God to be? So I thought about this, and I thought about how could I explain this question, and what came to me is I thought about the tooth fairy. So I was thinking, what the tooth fairy, when I was a kid, the tooth fairy I thought was a Tinkerbell who flew into my room fluttering and brought me money for my tooth and disappeared and was, invisible. And so that's what, I thought the tooth fairy was. But then it's like, what do I want the tooth fairy to be? Well, if you asked me as a kid, I would want the tooth fairy to be on time and rich. Right? That's what I would want the tooth fairy to be versus my idea of what the tooth fairy is, right? So if you ask yourself about God, what do you want God to be? If you could have any way that you wanted in the world, what would you want God to be? Good question, yes? Yes, okay, so I'm going to pick... grab your dyad partner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 minutes with the same dyad partner, and then we're going to switch. Is that? Let's see about.
You're not going to switch partners. You're just going to switch talking. So first you're going to talk, and 3 minutes later your partner will talk. That's what she means by switch.
Yeah.
Don't switch your partner. Just one is talking, and at the end of 3 minutes the other one will talk. So you're
Right.
just going to listen, right? And
then-
what are you asking him to say?
Right. So you're going to ask hold on a second. You're going to ask, what would you like God to be? They will answer the question, and then the partner will say, tell me more. So partner 1 will say, what would you like God to be? You want to practice that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So I'll be partner one. How's
Okay,
that? Is that
all right.
okay? What would you like God to be?
I would like God to be loving and more present where I could have confidence in knowing that God is.
Tell me more.
I always wonder about, is God really there? Is God really working in my life? So I want like concrete evidence.
Pause. Okay? Just pause. Tell me more.
I think I would feel more secure if I knew that, if I had that information.
Tell me more.
Ooh, it's coming up is like a fear, like what if that's not true?
You got it?
So what do you want? Let's do 4, tell me mores. So we're going to do 4 tell me mores, okay? So your question, you're at partner 1, you're asking what would you like God to be? You let your partner number 2 answer. You pause and then say tell me more. And you'll do 4 tell me mores. Just give them time to process, okay? Clear? So we're going to do 3 minutes, and then I'll let you know when it's time to for the next person to lead. Does that make sense? What's the best way to say that? Okay. 3 minutes and begin.
Make sure you give. I know your mic's on. Make sure you give them notice that it's going to end.
All right, we have 30 more seconds.
Online group. Did you hear that? Online group, did you hear that? Great.
All right, let's bring it to a close. Finish up your answers.
Almost 30 seconds. It's okay, pause.
All right. All right, let's close, bring it to a close, and we're going to switch partners. Or not switch partners, but switch turns. I got to remember that terminology. So ask, now partner number 2 is asking him the question. What would you like God to be? And partner number one's pausing and say, tell me more. All right, 30 more seconds to bring it to a close. Okay, all right, let's bring it to a close now. We have one more question for you. All right, everybody take a deep breath, get present. Breathe in, breathe out. Awesome, good, good, good. So this question we're going to ask in community setting. Gotcha, thank you. We'll let our Zoom family come back online. All right. And good, good. All right. Yes, yes, thank you. Okay, welcome back. Thank you. So now we have a question for you as a group. And given the circumstances of the world, and this could be your individual world, the world as a whole, what would God do if he were that? Meaning, if that were God. Woo, I said he, didn't I? She did not let that one by like half of a second, I think. What would God do? What would they do if they were that? Like what you described in your previous dyad. So if God were what you just described in your previous dyad, what would God do, given the current circumstances of the world? Sit with that. And when you are sitting with that, I would love for someone to come up to the microphone and share. What would God do?
No four-letter words.
Yes.
So I've been struggling with what's going on. Can I just be honest?
Yes.
With the whole political election.
What would you want God to do?
Right. So I've been struggling with that. And so I said that I would like God to be unconditionally loving and powerful to make things happen. So that's what I'm going to refer back to when I'm trying to answer this very difficult question that I've already been struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what the answer is. So this was really helpful for me because now I have the tool that I was going to ask for, which is, if God were like that, what would it be? And I think the part would be just unacceptably, hello, what is it called?
Unconditional?
Unconditionally loving, which would mean just let it go. Don't be judgmental. Don't be angry. Just love. And the hard part, powerful enough to make it happen. So that kind of tells me how to move forward. So if God were that, he would show me and give me the answers that I've been looking for so that I, as a human, can move forward and try to do my part. I think it just gave me my answer that I've been struggling to find.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being the first brave one. Mm-hmm.
Just come right on up. Don't even wait. Just come up, get in line right behind the mic.
The God that is within me, I hope everybody can hear. The God that's within me would tell me to accept things as they are. That's rule number one. Accept it. And what does that mean, accept it? Well, he'd tell me that all these issues that I think are issues in the world, problems in the world, are of my own thinking. So my thinking is of the construct of the head, but I'm intimate with God. He's within me. And so for me to get carried away with my thinking is what I need to stop. Because it's my own thinking that is creating the world's problems. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I've come to the realization that acceptance is my primary focus, and that includes accepting people with love and consideration, regardless of what their social, political, or religious affiliation may be. Just to accept them without judgment or criticism, accept them with love, seeing beyond the appearances. There's a great truth in that statement, look beyond the appearances and know the truth, that God is all, in all, as all, and that my limited judgments or criticisms are not beneficial to anyone, including myself. So just to move forward with
Chuck,
love.
what do you want God to be? Is that the answer to that
Yes,
question?
I want God to be more personal in my life and in my relationships.
Nice, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
Does someone want to speak before? Okay. So what shows up for me is, for my version of love, which is what God is allowing somebody to be authentic in your presence without judging them. And if it's political, relational, religious, whatever it could be, if I am in a space where I notice I'm judging or criticizing my version of somebody else's reality, my invitation for God within me is to become curious about my perspectives without judgment. So for me, if God is love, that means allowing somebody to be authentic in my presence without judging them and becoming curious. Because every human being on this planet has experienced some reasoning as why they are on the left, the right, which is not right or wrong, good or bad. There's no judgment. It's I want to become so radically curious with myself about this person's perspective, and whatever they say, I'm not going to judge it. I'm going to continue asking questions just like you guys are practicing here. Where did you learn to become so politically attached to that?
Never to speak from I. Always I.
Always I.
versus you. Where do you? Where do I?
You're
You're doing fine. I'm just going to remind you the I.
Yeah, so my version of God is love. So allowing, again, somebody to be authentic in your presence without judging them.
Thank you for that. That's
Thank
beautiful.
you. You're welcome. Thank you.
There's some advanced folks in this room.
Yes.
Because we're saying, what do you want God to be? And so far, what you're talking about is what I am to be, right? I gotcha.
God is a mystery, and we can't really understand God. That could have created not just this world, but the whole universe is so gigantic that I don't expect to ever understand God. And even the smartest person in the world, if they were here now, would not be able to tell us what God is. But if God were here, I think he'd have to. Sorry for the sexist he. Whatever it is, would have to change human nature, and human nature is always going to have some unpleasant aspects to it, and in my opinion, and we just have to
Stephanie,
accept
remember
that.
I get to.
I just accept that God is not understandable by me, but I hope that people get enough conditioning where they can try to accept others as much as they can.
Thank you. Thank you.
They're going to go ahead and share.
We're going to have online.
Okay. I would like, if God could be anything I wanted to, I would like God to express clearly to me at all times what is mine to do. And clearly, I mean loudly, because sometimes I have a hard time listening. And I know that God is always there, and I guess for me is I need to remember to take a deep breath and just let go sometimes and reconnect with that center. That's it.
Thank you, Marjorie.
I would like God to be just as God is now, and that we have free choice, and that all of these people that choose differently than me, I would like to be so godly, as we all are here, that this like ocean of clarity and peace just washes over everything, and everyone truly chooses to be love, peace, joy, wisdom, happiness, joy, and all that.
Thank you. Okay, the last one here.
Well, if asked, what do I want God to be? More democratic. No, really. I want God to help me to understand what I don't.
Thank you. Okay. Handing it
So,
over.
thank you. So I was just telling Rev Veronica a moment ago, is there are days that I want God to be exactly what God is, which I believe is everything. And there was a couple of days ago where I said, I want God to clean this shit up. Okay? So there's the paradox for my humanness that I think unless we say that, we won't own that there's a part of us that wants it to be easier, right? So I want it to be easy, and it just isn't sometimes. And so I love all the statements of, can I accept what it is without characterization, without labeling? Sometimes, right? Sometimes not. So love this conversation. Mm-hmm. So we've talked about what God is, and now we're going to talk it in the context of what am I? Just in case, right? We forget what I am. And so I wanted to say two things. One is Charles Zimmer studies the human species with respect to how it's all connected. And what he talks about is that if we go out 20 cousins, so my first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, all the way to my 20th cousin. If I go to my 20th cousin, then we're all related. No matter where we live. My 20th cousin. Hey, cousin is right. So how interesting is that, right? Because if I go out to my 20th cousin and I have a realization that we're all connected, although sometimes in my case, sometimes when I think, well, yeah, but I got family that, I don't necessarily want to be connected to, but I am. And so that's one. And so it's important for me to understand and remember that I'm connected to everyone, not just spiritually. Physically, I'm connected to all of you because we're all family. Period. A quick example, ministerial school. This is 12 years ago. I'm in a class. There's a guy in my class. His name is Robert Wilson. And I went, that is weird. Like all my grandfathers are named Robert Wilson. And so I asked him where he came from. And as he was talking, I went, oh, crap, I'm related to this guy. But theory, no proof. And then I did a Ancestry.com DNA test, and guess who pops up as a cousin? Robert Wilson. Important. The second thing, let's talk about empathy a little bit. We did a workshop this last year on empathy. Rabbi Kula, who's written a lot of great books with respect to being human, and especially around empathy and compassion, he was talking about how he was talking to this woman in his congregation, and she has this neurological condition that when she has like a seizure type episode, she basically falls to the ground unconscious for a moment and then comes back. When this happens, it just happens spontaneously. And when it does happen, everyone in the room goes and picks her up. And she says, you know what I want? I want someone to get on the ground with me and ask me, how am I? What's going on for me? Get where I'm going? So the point is, what we're doing here is listening for what people are asking for, not what we think they need. She said, I'm sure everybody is uncomfortable that there's this adult laying on the floor. So they're really addressing it from a place of discomfort, not what I need. Okay? So what does it mean to be human? We're going to talk about, and the first thing we're going to do is, what does it mean to be human in the context of what is God? Now, because of time, I'm going to ask you to talk about this in dyads. We're going to give you a couple minutes to talk about it. As you're listening, just listen. So let one partner, what does it mean to be human in the text of what is God? The other person pause, and speaks, what does it mean to be human in the context of what is God? Okay? And what it means is you've talked about God, so where am I in this, right? Now, before you speak or before you answer the question for yourself, pause. Michael, I'm looking in your eyes, and I'm taking a moment to make sure I heard what you just said. Okay? Sound good? Okay. You got a few minutes to do this. So ready? Go.
Still there?
We have 30 seconds online, Jesse? Yeah, 30 seconds.
So just make sure both of you get to speak. You're not just speaking the whole time, one over the other. Is that, you guys hear me in the online group?
No, I'm messaging you.
Okay, we're going to come back. So we're going to wait for our online group. Are they back? Coming back? Nope. So let's just kind of get a show of hands here. How many of you believe that you're connected to everyone in the room, physically and spiritually? Do you believe you're connected to everyone in the room, physically and spiritually? Yes? Generally? So if you're connected to everyone in the room, physically and spiritually, are you connected to all of creation, physically and spiritually? So it's not limited to humans? Okay. And so if you're connected to everyone physically and spiritually to everyone, are you connected to God physically and spiritually? Almost? Whether you feel it or not. Whether you feel it or not. Doesn't mean you conceptually you can agree with that, yeah? And so the big challenge in being human is that, well, one, we just criticize the hell out of ourselves and others, and how could that be love? Right? So it's really hard to feel connected if we're criticizing ourselves and we're criticizing others, right? So the question is if we asked you what do you want God to do? So the question is, if you believe we're all connected, then who's God in the room? Is everyone in God in the room? The collective. Not like Debbie Ann's God and the rest of us are hanging out. Right? Right? It's not that. All right. So I want to bring context. That doesn't mean that you believe it all the time, but you understand it. Can we say that it's a practice? Does that feel gentler? Okay. So then the next question is this, which is I'm going to ask this of you to consider, and I would like you to talk with your dyad partner back and forth, not just talk for a few minutes and then switch. I want you to have a dialogue about this back and forth, which is, because here's the kicker. How many of you want clarity? All right, by the way, clarity exists all the time. It just does. I'm in the way, right? It's my thinking is in the way, right? But the point of the matter is every one of us have a gift. Do you believe that we all have a gift, right? We may not know what it is, but the gift is usually in the shadow, and it's usually something we often are drawn to, right? So, for example, if I'm quiet, if I'm generally quiet, what do you think my gift might be? Oh my goodness, you guys are really good at this. Listening. Yeah. If I talk a lot, what is my gift? She did that for real. That was like not even, she totally did. I saw that. Way to go, Eileen. You just proved my point. So if I speak a lot, is that a gift? Right? How many of you judge that gift? Exactly. But if someone speaks, what if they have something important to say? And I just have to listen for it, in a sense. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You have a gift. You know you do. Whether it's serving, whether it's being loved, whether it's showing up for a friend, whatever it is, there is something that you have that you do not or don't always give. Yes? Yes. What is it? Now share in your diets. What is your gift? Okay, you got about 30 seconds. Okay. So let me bring you back. I didn't even have to say anything. See how that works? My gosh. It works. It's like I'm a 14-year-old trying to figure it out again, right? All right. So we'd like to open it up for sharing. I have two questions for you. One is, would you share the gift that you are here to give, but don't share it enough? Maybe you judge it. Maybe you're afraid to share it. Maybe you share it a little bit, but like to share it more. So when you think about what we're here to be as our purpose, could our purpose be linked to what's next? What must happen? And by the way, does anybody know what to wear every day? Right? I swear. Clean underwear, that's it. Thank you, Ryan. Clarity. Ryan and clarity. Thank you, Ryan. All right. So I'd like you to come up to the mic, and don't be worried because the person next to you is like, it's just, I have nothing, right? Or maybe judging that share. People want to hear from you. What if you're inspiring someone else, right? So I'd like you to come up and just succinctly, what is my gift? Don't have to don't share a whole lot because we want to allow time for others. And what's an insight you got today? Okay? What's my gift? What's my insight? Ready? Here we go. And we're not ending at 12:30. We're going to take an extra 5. We had to start late. Ready? Someone come up. Come on, Karen.
I think I have love and acceptance of others, or just love and acceptance. But I also don't share it enough.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay, I'm not saying this is my only gift, but one gift. Why am I getting emotional? One gift I have is to cook for my friend. I have a friend, he's poor. He doesn't have time to cook. He doesn't have time for healthy food, so I can make a big pot of lentil soup for the week for him, and he loves it. I have plenty of...
Thank you.
Yes.
Did you have something else?
Oh, I was just going to say...
Insight?
Yeah, I just said, I have tons of food, why not share it? And then what I learned today, I haven't been here for like years and years, but you've just solidified my faith even more today, so thank you very much.
Thank you. We'd love to take credit, but we can't, really. How about in the back, and then whoever comes up next on Zoom?
Okay, I'd like to share, I think I have a lot of gifts, but the
I
one that
don't share a lot is that I like to see both sides of the story.
Oh,
Good
nice.
and bad.
Oh.
And so,
a lot of times you can't do that with some person. They want you on their side. So, an insight, heart opening today, and I feel much better today. Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name?
Gina.
Gina. Thank you, Gina.
You're welcome.
One thing that I feel a gift of mine that I can share more often, and the reason why I stood up here today is because it's a challenge to sometimes just be confident to know that if I feel an intuitive hit of insight, to just relax and share it and trust that it's going to land safely. And what I'm taking away today from insight is the importance of trust, because we all I seem to understand, and it seems to be shared widely, the omnipresence and gentleness of God's Spirit, and just leaning into it with trust is wonderful.
Thank you, Janice. Dr. Aaron.
Hello. I firmly believe that wherever you go, there you are. And if you're unhappy here, you're going to be unhappy there. And my gift is what I've learned to cultivate within myself is to channel this energy of God into an embodied state, bringing this energy into your body so that you can face your fears, because that is what is stopping you. That is what has been stopping me.
So, Aaron, remember, I.
That. And my gift is helping you see your patterns so that you can shift into the truth of who you are. That is my gift. That is why I'm joining Reverend Veronica, and we invite you all to join us in spiritual discussions to bring this to fruition for yourself as well. Thank you.
Okay.
So while she brought that up.
Since you brought that up, homework cards. We are going to pass out the homework cards now. And on the homework cards, this amazing quote, which I always have trouble saying his name. Pierre.
His? Oh, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin.
Yes,
that guy.
Yeah, that guy. So this amazing quote, God is not remote from us. God is at the point of my pen, my shovel, my sewing needle, and my heart and thoughts. And so this is our quote for this class here today. And on the backside is our homework. And one of the questions that every morning we want you to ask yourself, how do I want to show up today? And how can I show up for myself today? So these are setting your intentions for the day. So these are great questions to start out. You can journal on them. You can just ask them. You can put this in your car, on your bathroom mirror. Because then you can also ask, how do I want to show up in the world for others? So these are questions that you can ask yourself. And then every evening, if you put this on your bathroom mirror, you'll see it. Before you go to bed, how do I show up today? How did I show up today for myself? And how did I show up for others? And so you close your day reflecting without judgment, just an inquiry and curiosity. How did I show up? And then when we meet on Wednesday, February 5th, we're going to review. How did we do? Once again, not from a place of judgment, but from a spiritual practice to, like Dr. Aaron said, of embodiment of this.
And if you're struggling with giving yourself compassion of how you did that day, show up on that evening so you can talk about what it was. What did it feel like? Because guess what we're practicing? We have to practice compassion for ourselves first in order for us to give it. Does anybody else want to share before we leave about what is the gift? What is the gift?
Giving. Oh, one more.
So the gift, can you guys hear me? Oh yeah. The gift that I think that I have is to be able to create a safe and calming space for somebody to where they can kind of explore themselves or their situation and feel like they can share. And I think I'm able to create an energy where they feel peace and just safety afterwards. And my insight is just that I realized that as
Make sure you're talking to that mic so we can hear you. Go ahead.
I realized that I was writing this. It brought me back to the first question of what is God, and my definition of God was this connecting, softly guiding energy, and it kind of made me realize that my gift is connected with what God is, and I think I just want to kind of remind myself of that a little bit more and practice sharing it with others and also sharing it with myself more.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Serving, encouraging, and teaching.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay. So we're trying something new today. So one of the things that was important was to give you time to talk. Do you know how important that is? Right? So it's important to have this dialogue so that we feel seen and heard, but we also get insights from what others share too. Correct? Yep. Now, today, instead of handing you evaluation, you see that up there? You're going to take your phone out. Well, who says that in a workshop? Open your camera. Put your camera up on that, and if you hit it, it's going to give you a link, which is a focus on it. Now, you don't have to do it right now. You can do it in a moment, but go ahead and try it. And there should be a link that pops up at the bottom. Yeah. Okay, so if you have any, we would love to get your feedback today. More of, less of, what could we do differently? Did it resonate for you? Whatever that might be, because that's how we basically design these, is based on what the feedback we get. How's it working? I know, this is great. That way we don't kill a tree when we hand out, we're trying to do our part as well. So we're also going to move into our giving portion. You want to turn that music, that part of that on for me, Matt? He knows what I'm talking about. I don't even have to use real words. I can just stutter right through it. So if I could have our ushers grab those beautiful baskets. Hopefully you might have them right near you. And so our ushers are Jan, Cheryl, Janet, and Carrie. And they're going to pass these around so you can do your evaluation. Giving is what keeps this community in its beautiful human state of abundance. What we do and what we bring to this community. Can you put that back up there, Matt? My slide. Don't take that down. Thank you. So as we do this, I want you to just, in this moment, first take a nice deep breath as we move into this, and let's enjoy. a little bit of love.
My mother was a sunshine soldier. Every day was a dream come true. She said that we were blessed by the breath deep inside us. She could make the colors in the sky turn blue. She said, honey, what you gonna do today? You're second guessing every single move you make. You're definitely gonna have some very hard days, but I'll be right here for you. And she said, before I go, there is one thing you should know. I give love to all of my people. All of my people need love. I give some. I give love to all of my people. All of my people need love. I give some. I give love to all of my people. All of my people need love. I give some. 'Cause in the end, the love we take's got nothing on the love we make. So give love. So give love.
Okay, so we're going to close today with the benediction. Thank you all so much for being here. And just a reminder that Wednesday class on February 5th is on Zoom, so you can register through the website, through the newsletter. And so let's take this moment right now to just solidify everything that we have done together, the deep work that has occurred, knowing that it is done in God, and what is done in God is done through each and every one of us. And as I affirm that right here, right now, I want you to declare out loud what it is that you want to affirm for yourself. So declare it right here, right now. Just say it out loud. Say it out loud, affirming joy, grace. Keep saying it, keep coming, keep it coming. Surrender, love. Yes, speak it out loud, speak it, and press it into this. The law that says yes. Yes. Ooh, yes, yes. Let's take a deep breath together. Letting out. Knowing that the law loves to say yes to that which we impress upon it. And as we continue to dig deeper into these questions, what is God and who am I? As we continue to unfold and stay open to these questions as we walk through life, we know that the truth will be revealed through, in, and as us through the activity of life itself. So I'm so grateful for this time together, and knowing that as we leave this beautiful sanctuary, we return to our home safely, and knowing that God is operating in, through, and as my life. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we say together, and so it is. So
Before you
is.
leave, I have a little gift for you, so just see me on your way out before you leave. And thanks for being here today. We really appreciate you showing up.
Yes.
Have a good week.
Thank you. Thank you.